Welcome back to the channel, friends. Today I will build the Warhammer table I've always wanted with the fantasy buildings of my dreams. Let's get started. Since I saw the incredible resin buildings from Tabletop World, I've dreamt of building a Warhammer table with their line of terrain. But I didn't quite get around to getting their stuff, and with the size I was planning, it was going to be a bit expensive for my hobby budget. So I reached out to the guys at Tabletop World and I asked them if they were up for some kind of collaboration. I had a modest idea of what would be possible from such a request, but my god, they responded generously. Ivan asked if I didn't want to expand the board with a river, so I could use the bridge and the watermill, and I immediately agreed. Of course, being Ivan, he sent me some extra houses just because, why not? So now I had buildings to fill an entire 8x4 foot board, and I was ready to start the dream project. I began by sketching out the roads and cutting out hills from styrofoam. I also cast up some plaster rocks to make the hills a little bit more interesting. With a knife, I cut into the hills to make the rocks stick out in an interesting and kind of natural way. It's always hard to get that realistic feel when you're making a modular and playable battleboard, especially with stepped hills. But they are essential for making it modular and, let's face it, playable for Warhammer. When you have ranked units, you need stepped hills. It's just the way it is. I glued the river pieces into the styrofoam and filled the gaps with PVA glue and sand to hide the seams. Then I dry fitted the bridge and watermill and added some thin sheets of floor insulation to make them flush with the board. I then smoothed the gaps between the rocks and the hill and the river tiles on the board with sculptor mold and filler. The basic build was now done and it was time to start painting. As I used a lot of styrofoam, spray paint was out of the question as it melts the foam, so brush and diluted craft paint it was. I used grey for the rocks and a warm brown for the ground. For the roads, I made a mix of PVA glue, sand and brown tile grout that I spread out in a thick layer along the marked road areas. I rolled a pair of my kids' Lego wheels along the mix to create some tracks. Although my friend later remarked that medieval roads really had 3 grooves. 1 for the horse and 2 for the wheels. Well, maybe it was a dwarf steamship that made the tracks, what do I know? All the ground areas on both the board and the hills was covered with a mix of PVA glue, brown paint and some brown tile grout. The roads and riverbeds got a few dustings of spray paint to make a smooth gradient with the surrounding terrain. Some light brown for the roads and greys and greens for the river to make it suitably slimy and grimy. Everything was then dry brushed with a beige craft paint to accentuate all textures and bring everything together. The rock parts got a final dry brush of pure white. For the flocking, I always use watered down PVA glue, brushed on the surface, and then I applied different turfs and static grass with a sieve, or tubs with a sieve-like lid. I kind of like a mottled green with a lot of different hues to create interest, but I tend to finish off with a bright green static grass to make it a bit more vibrant and, well, fantasy. I then seal everything with watered down PVA that I apply with a kick-ass spray gun that I bought for like $10, my best purchase in a good while. On the roads, I applied a line down the middle with grass tufts, turf and flowers of different sizes and colors to give that rural road feel. It really sells the board, I think. This mix of vegetation was also added to the riverbanks and the bridgehead and the watermill. Now it was time to paint the buildings. They were all painted in the same way, just that the stonework had 2 different base paints to create some interest and variety. It's really simple, as these buildings have an extremely detailed and crisp texture. They're made of actual stones that they hack into small pieces and build the houses out from. I primed everything black, and for some buildings I zenithal spray with a beige color on the stonework. Then it's just a matter of dry brushing almost everything. Well, the first layer is actually wet brushing, using more paint than dry brushing on the brush, if you're being exact, and I know YouTube audiences tend to care about the details, so I will do my best. Work your way up each area with successively lighter colors and less paint on the dry brush for every layer. I used grey or beige on the stones depending on what type of building I was painting. For the roofs, I used a dark ruddy brown for the wood roofs, a warm brick red for the stone roofs, and a dark turquoise for the copper roofs. The wood parts were also dry brushed brown and finally beige. I painted all metal parts with a dark metal and then washed them with orange to simulate rust. After painting all the details, it was time for weathering. I applied washes of different colors to random stones to get a varied look, and then used weathering powders, flock mixed with glue to simulate moss, and tufts of all kinds to make them overgrown and scruffy. I had some great looking ivy that I applied to some buildings to add some more interest, and then painting was done. I did feel that the buildings needed something more to fit with the board. I have a hard time with buildings just being placed straight onto the grass, so I made a removable base for every building to get a bit of stuff in beside them that I didn't want to stick to the board. Remember, I wanted this board to be highly modular. Only the river pieces and the roads will be permanent. The bases for the buildings were done in the same way and style as the rest of the board, and then I was done. Time for the scary part, the resin river. But since I've done it before, I knew how to do it so to avoid accidents. I sealed the edges with UV resin and plastic from a blister pack, and then I mixed the resin forever. I learned my lesson from my last big resin pour and added a lot more color to this one, and the result was pretty great. I then added gloss acrylic medium that I sculpted to waves with an old brush, and I mixed in some snow powder with that to add foam around the watermill and the rocks in the river. I placed everything on the board along with some trees, bushes and wheat fields that I had lying around that I felt fitted with the look, and then I was done. My dream Warhammer table finished. I hope you like it, I sure do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more content in the future.